Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, hi, and welcome back to Hats Off to You, episode 2. My name is Jay, and let's get going down this road of internet entertainment. We just got back from the doctor, and I say we like plural pronouns. It wasn't really we, it was my long term lady friend feeling a little under the weather. Went to go see the doc about it, and I bought her some stuff, and we went out to eat, to kind of make her feel a little better, and I don't want her to resent me one day, so that's we just got back from that, and the doctor is a miserable place, just altogether a miserable place. If you are a doctor or if you're friends or family with a doctor, I'm not saying that doctors are bad people. I'm just saying that the doctor's office is a miserable experience. Uh, I don't like to go. I hate going to the doctor. Absolutely despise going to the doctor. Once again, no beef with any actual doctors. I just don't like to go. And when I think about it, there are ultimately all what is it, 7 billion people in the world, and there are really two types of people. Two, two types of people. People who will go to the doctor if they so much as have a case of snuffles, just a little. I need to go to the doctor. Versus a person who will basically lose a limb before they think it might be time to go. I might need to get that looked at. I fall a little bit closer to the latter, but I'm not that bad. I've got to be sick though. I've got to be sick. I've got to be hurt, or I've got to be forced to go to the doctor. I just don't like to go. Like I really don't like to go, and I understand that some people need to go to the doctor. They might have a condition, or especially during allergy season. I know people who make it like a weekly routine for them to go to the doctor and get the allergy shot, and then for like the rest of the day they're kind of like red and itchy looking, and they're shaking for the rest of the day and everything. I get it. I understand. I'm not saying that you're wrong for going to the doctor. By all means, go. I'm not a conspiracy theorist who thinks that the doctor just gives you placebo pills just to make you feel better and kick your can down the road so he can continue seeing you for all your sickness. And I don't believe that the shots that they give you necessarily are full of sick juice to keep you sick so that you have to come back. I don't buy into that. Uh, I just really don't like to go. You know, like people laugh at me because I like to go to the dentist. Uh, the dentist, he cleans your teeth. He cleans your teeth. You can feel the clean. They give you a nice mouthwash. Sometimes they'll do the thing with the polishing, and you get like that weird, like gritty but still like fruit flavored sand stuff in your mouth. And I'm not saying it's like wonderful. I wouldn't wait in line to go to the dentist, although I have to a lot. But it's not miserable for what it is. I mean, granted, cavities, root canals, etc., etc. Okay, yeah, bad. But for just general dentist visits, I'm there. I'm there getting the teeth looked at, getting the chops investigated. I've got to be sick to go to the doctor. I mean, sick. Usually if I'm ever sick, I don't want to go anywhere. Because just think about the word sick. Okay, that it's a sick sounding word as it is, sick. And whenever you actually are sick, the word sounds even sicker because it's like you just say, "Oh, I hope I don't get sick," but then when you wake up out of bed, it's like, "I'm sick," and it sounds. You have like the crud down in your throat, and your mouth feels weird, and because that weird and it's awful. It's just terrible, and you can't breathe. You wake up with just like sinuses, just like stones in your nose, and you can't. You just don't want to talk to people. The phone rings, and you hiss at them, and you're not well. You're not well, and you're not tolerable either. So as a perk to yourself and to those who you could deal with, you decide, I'm gonna call this one today. This is gonna be a home day, and so you lay out in the bed and you know where you go sit on the couch and you're bundled up. You know, I'm warm natured, so I don't bundle up typically, but then I'll be like in a robe with the slippers, with the fuzzy pants, with the blanket, with the heat on, with like the dog on my chest, so that, you know, I'm trying to get as much warm as possible. And I'll drink some soup, you know, eat some crackers, some saltines, and just try to rough it out. You know, take a little bit of medication, drink some citrus juice, OJ or whatever, and just try to let it just work its way out. And then I'll get up and do some stuff around the house just to kind of get moving and kind of just, you know, to do stuff. And then, you know, usually I'm better within a day or two. But every so often, every so often, every so every oh God, it's everywhere. So then you get like sick, right? Like, I mean, sick. And then somebody pretty much demands that you go to the doctor, or you finally get bright and decide, you know what? I ain't kicking this myself. No amount of OJ or chicken noodle is going to get this out of my system. So you go to the doctor and you think, well, maybe it'll be okay this time. The doctor is supposed to be a happy place where you're made to feel better. That's the doctor's job, right? And yeah, the doctor makes you feel great after, you know, it's all said and done. But it's every little point leading up to the actual leaving and feeling better later that day that, I don't know, somehow you got to wait for the good stuff later. It's never good, because first off, you have to find a doctor, period, and B, you have to find a doctor who takes your insurance. Now, yeah, I know insurance, that's a bummer as it is, but just even finding a doctor, period. You know, you can't just go to a because you think doctor and you think, okay, the guy in like the coat and he's got the little thing on his head and maybe he throws like pills down a bottle with a bunch of multicolored viruses and basically plays Tetris until they all go away. But that's not, you know, you've got feet doctors and head doctors and ENT doctors and doctors and general doctors and learning doctors and interning doctors and all these different doctors, and you have no idea where to go. It's like, look, I just got a freaking infection that won't bug off. I need to go somewhere and just kick it. So you have to find like an urgent care place or a walk-in place, a doc in the box as they're sometimes referred to. And then you go in, and because you're like me and you never go to the doctor, you don't have a guy, you know. People say, well, I'm going to talk to my doctor or my lawyer or my whatever, my mechanic. I don't have those things. I don't get out enough to go talk to just whoever and have a bunch of people in my back pocket. So I'm trying to find a doctor who's reasonable and reasonably priced. And you walk in, and immediately you feel the sick come upon you. And you walk in there realizing that you just feel bad and you can't quite kick it. But you are in a room of sick. Not just sick people, just sick. Everybody here is just breathing on you and just making the air sick. And you have to go sit next to these people for about 2.5 hours. You can't just walk in and you know, in a perfect world, you'd walk in, the lady hands you the papers, and the paper would just be like, my name is, my address, my phone, my insurance. Yes, I understand. You might have to tell the insurance company if I have a problem. And the end. But there's like 17 pages of paperwork, and a bunch of it doesn't really even make sense. even if you were in the right frame of mind, it doesn't make sense, much less when you're sitting there like, and you're just scribbling crap down, just trying to get to see somebody. And then you hand it and they say, the doctor will be with you in a little bit. And then you wait about another hour and a half. And then, you have people over there and they look like they're fine, but then all of a sudden they just and like hack up a lung at you. And the last time I went to the doctor, this was fun. The last time I went to the doctor, I'm just sitting there with like my phone out, because we have that now where we can just sit and just derp with our phone. I'm just sitting here just trying to do something to keep my mind off the fact that I'm sick. And while I'm doing this, there's a woman who has her child here, right? And said woman, she's derping on her phone over here, too. So the child is unattended. Now, I'm not saying the mother was a bad mother, but it's not like the child was doing cartwheels on the other side of the facility, but she was kind of on her little chain of peripheral mom vision there. The child was kind of bouncing hither and unto. Now, I'm sitting here on my phone, and the mother's sitting over here on her phone, and the little girl bounds over to like my chair here, and she just like, it's like this weird thing where she just like gets up and she's just like, and she just stares at me. And so I'm over here, because at this point you're as close to me as she was, and I'm just like, what? But of course you can't say that. You can't be a jerk to little kids, so you kind of have to look and be like, oh, look at the cute baby. So I say all that to say that you're annoyed, you're upset, and then they finally call you back, and you're already over it. You want to sleep, you want to watch TV or whatever, and they finally call you back, and then they stuff like the long Q-tip that you can't find anywhere besides a doctor's office, like up your nose and down your throat and all this mess. And they take you and they stick you and they get the blood, which I used not to have a problem with needles at all. But a couple years ago, somebody more shanked me than really like pricked me for blood. And ever since then, I'm a little jumpy now. So I have to like really like concentrate and be like, yes, here's the good vein. Take this one. Don't screw up. And then you go back and you lay on the table with the weird wax paper on it for so long. And then finally you have a nurse come in who says, the doctor will see you shortly. And it's like, I heard that 2.5 hours ago. So you're laying on this table almost about to fall asleep because you're tired and upset and irritable, and a small child has gotten in your airspace and breathed your sick air. And you have presumably also breathed in her sick air. And then the doctor comes in, and he pretty much is just like, yeah, you got a virus. We're going to give you a shot. Hope you get feeling better. And then dude walks out. You've seen him for 40 seconds. And then they come in, and they act like it's the most common thing in the world. Okay, we're going to give you a shot in the hip now. Take your pants off. And then they just right there in the derriere, and pat you on said derriere and send you on your way. And you go home and you sleep it off, and you feel great. But for that like 3-hour window, you were miserable, and you've basically been a cattle, what I assume a cattle would be like. So don't get sick. I'm going to do my best not to get sick. I don't want to go to the doctor's office. I try to stay away from the doctor's office, clearly. So, be careful, be safe, don't get sick, lest you got to sit in the doctor's office for 3.5 hours. And, let me know what you feel. Let me know how you like this. All right, like, comment, subscribe, etc., whatever it is you do for things you like. And we'll see you again soon. Hats off to you.